welcome to the Unexplained Archives, the place to come and get your weekly dose of spooky. I am one of your hosts, Jen.
Hi, Jen. And I'm Jamie, the other host.
How's it going, Jamie? How has your week been?
It's been, I feel like I say this every week, but it's been a whirlwind.
Yeah.
My car was in the shop for 2 weeks and I finally got it. And then I had a Lions game to get to. And so I got my car at 6 p.m. They close at 6 p.m. I'm
Okay.
like texting them, is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? And I was
Yeah.
trying to time it right. I got my car, I slept for 2 hours and then drove all night to
Oh,
get here. So,
Michigan.
yeah, to Michigan. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. I have said this before because I've done the drive. I've done it just the once. Jamie has done this several times, and there are times she just drives straight through, and I am marveled by this because I
It wasn't
can't.
fun.
No,
And
it's not.
probably not smart. Probably not smart, but I did
I
okay.
I
I
know
did.
it's not that cannot be a good time. That's hard. That's a
It
long
was
it's a
tough.
long drive.
Yeah.
I cheated I got hotels. I did stop in between because I get so tired and I
Yeah.
can't after a while. But
I
you're
know.
a champ, man.
And I don't recommend it,
Yeah,
but
okay.
I did make it and I was
Yeah.
able to take a short nap
Oh, good.
after I got to Michigan. And
Hmm.
then for some reason, I felt okay. I guess it was just, having some naps to get me through. But then I slept like a freaking baby rock
Yeah,
for, yeah,
good.
hours.
Good. You probably needed it.
So I feel good.
Right.
I feel
Yeah,
good, caught up now. So,
that's great. No, that's
yeah.
really good. Now, one time I did take a trip to Michigan to Kansas,
Oh,
which
that's
is
a long
kind
trip.
of there. And my ex-boyfriend's grandmother had passed away. We took between the two of us, we had five children. We took three of the five with us, and we kind of got in the car. We're like, oh, we have to drive it because we didn't think we could afford five
Oh,
plane
yeah.
tickets like now,
Yeah,
right? Trying to book a flight,
I know.
a day before or 2 days before, it's impossible.
Right.
His dad had offered to pay, but I was like, no way. I just didn't feel good about that either. So we're like, we'll drive it. Oh my gosh. It was the
Yeah.
worst. He will even
It's
tell you
hard.
it was
It's
the
tough.
worst. It was just miserable. And then the night, and then he has like sleep apnea, and so he
Oh,
couldn't
no.
sleep. He can't, he'll like die,
Terrible. Yeah.
right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
I can't function on little bits of sleep. So God bless you, Jamie. You did it because
I did it. I did it. I don't recommend it.
yeah,
I don't know if I would do it again,
yeah,
but I'm caught up now. I feel
good.
good. Yeah, I'm
That's so
rested
good.
and caffeinated, not just
Right, right,
caffeinated.
right.
Yeah.
You're both. You're both. And you are
Uh,
here in this weather with
It
me.
is freezing. It is freezing. I When I got here, I heard it was the coldest day that you've had so far.
Yes. What, yesterday? 2 days ago.
Thursday, whatever day that was. What is
Yeah,
today?
2 days
Saturday?
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's uncomfortable. It's so
It was
cold.
-2
It was
after
-2.
the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always know
Yeah.
it's bad when you go outside and you breathe in and your
Hmm.
snot freezes. That's how
Yeah.
you know. That's when you know it is really bad.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I know this sounds weird. I've lived in Michigan my whole life, and so I'm used to this. I've suffered through some winters where it was -20. And listen, there's other places where it's been even way colder than that, but
Mhm.
-20 sucks. It's terrible.
That's
And so I can actually handle 30 degrees and up. If it gets
yeah.
below 30,
Yeah.
done. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything. I
Mhm.
have to be under my electric blanket. Don't talk to me for the rest of the day. And that's
Yeah.
how it's been here for days. So I've
That's
gotten nothing done.
no. Today was okay. It was above freezing finally. So,
Today
yeah.
was it was above 30 today, so I did some Christmas shopping. Today was
Oh,
great.
nice. All right.
I got out of bed. It was
Christmas
great.
coming.
But
Christmas coming so fast. It's
it
like
is.
weird.
It will be here. It will be here soon. I know it will. Yeah, Hayden and I were just figuring out he's going to be on break here in like 2 weeks.
I know it's
Already,
nuts.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's on its way, but I'm good. Like I feel semi prepared. I've got stuff coming
Good.
to the house. We did go out today, got some things, and so
Nice.
I feel pretty good.
Do you have your tree up?
Nope.
No, not yet. Not yet,
No.
but soon. Yeah.
Yeah, and I always try Thanksgiving weekend. It just didn't. I really honestly think, and this is kind of going back to, I've discussed my mother who had 250 trees in
Yes.
her house, right? I almost think, in a sense, I'm like rebelling in a way when it
Uh-huh.
comes to my Christmas tree. Like,
I can see
because,
that.
how my Halloween stuff is up in August, right? I'm ready to go. And then I don't want to take it down. But then Christmas comes and I'm like, Jamie, there's been times my Christmas tree has barely made it days before, which
Oh,
is awful because I'm a mom to a little boy who is very much in the belief of Christmas, and
yeah.
we're the elf on the shelf has been coming to the
Yeah.
house. So this year we have the elf on the shelf. His name is Hayden as well. We
Aw.
we have Snoop on a stoop has been visiting the house,
Nice.
and Martha on a mantle has been coming.
Oh,
Well,
Martha on a mantle.
so all
Okay.
three of them have been hanging out. And so that's been great. But he's 10, so the magic is still alive and it's great.
Yes.
So
It's so
I need to get
exciting.
the damn tree up.
I know.
I've
I've
been,
been that way too, though.
yeah.
And my thing is, it'll stay up probably till
Oh,
January 15th.
1,000%. That's the thing. Once it's
Yeah.
up, then I'm like, can
Eh,
stay there for a
I
minute.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm the
I think it's
same.
okay. As long as it's up by Christmas,
Yeah, agreed.
that matters. So,
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So, well, there you have it, folks. If anyone else has the same issues, we would love to hear this as well. If it
yes.
takes you a while to get your Christmas tree up, if anyone else rebels against their mother still when it comes to Christmas, and it's so crazy. My mother is no longer with us either, but I'm
You
sure she's watching. So I think it's part of me like, hmm,
gotta keep that rebellion
yeah,
alive.
I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah. So
But man, and it'll be New Year before you know it.
yeah.
That reminds me of everybody who's posting about their Spotify wrap-ups. We have
Yes.
cool news there.
We got some great news because as podcasters, we also get an end of the year. Like I'm so used to just being like the individual. It's like, oh, what did you listen to? And what are your favorite podcasts? But as a podcast, we get one as well, which was really cool and a fun surprise since this is our first year. And so
Yes.
we discovered we have how many? It was over 80 people have
Mhm.
us in their top 10 listen podcasts that they're listening to on Spotify. I'm trying to remember. There was quite a few still in their top three.
That's awesome.
We had 23 people who have made us their number one podcast this year, and that I know, like 23. That is huge for us. Like,
That's
there's
huge.
23
Yeah,
people
I
who
think
listen,
so.
like, we're their number one. So, this is fantastic. So, we want to give a big thank you to first of all, everyone who listens, who has made us a part of their podcast listening routine this year, which has been fantastic. But we want to give a special something to the 23 people who made us their number one this year. So, it will show you, like in your wrap up, when it says what was your number one podcast. If you screenshot that to us and show us that we were your number one podcast for the year, and there's 23 of you out there, email it to us. And I am going to make some merch because in the coming year, we're going to do some merch. We've talked about it, we've been working on this for a while. But I'm going to make mugs because I love a mug, right? And so I'm going to do some Unexplained Archive mugs for our 23 people. And if you send it in and you can, show us, send me your address, I will send you the first to be launched, the Unexplained Archives mugs. So
Yay. I think
we're
that's
going to do
awesome.
that as a huge thank you for making us your number one this year. I mean, that is just incredible. So, what a year it has been. I can't believe it. I mean, technically, we've been doing this 10 months,
Yeah.
and It's amazing. I just
It
can't
is.
believe how quickly it's gone, how many topics we've covered.
I know, it's amazing.
It's been a wild ride. It's been so much
And
fun.
there's still so many to cover. I was
Yeah,
thinking, you know, there's just so much to talk about.
there
So
is
much more.
so
So,
much paranormal out there, so much crazy, spooky things out there. So we will be back. We're gonna keep it going. We're keeping this
yes.
ball rolling, and so hopefully for many years to come. So thank you so much to all of you for tuning in and listening. I had to laugh. Actually, I didn't even think about it about getting this wrap up. And Lainey, who I know I've talked about before, who does my hair, she sends me a text message. She's like, "You're my number 3 podcast this year."
Yes.
I was
That's
like,
awesome.
wow. I
Yeah.
was like, that was exciting on its own. So I was like, awesome,
Yes.
awesome.
That
But
is.
Lainey's not getting a mug. Sorry, Lainey. We weren't your number 1.
Oh,
You
yeah,
gotta,
that's right. When we're number one, you get a mug.
that's right.
Incentive.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, so be sure to send us a screenshot, Unexplained Archives 2025 at gmail.com. You can find it in the show notes as well. Yeah, send us a screenshot, send me your address. I will get you a mug. Unexplained Archives mug. Sound good?
I
I,
think it's a great
yeah.
idea.
All right. Good deal. Good deal. All right, Jamie.
Yes.
You want to talk about, we got something
Yeah,
special in store this
we do. This will
week.
be a first. So we've had listeners write in with stories
Mhm.
and, email us or leave comments, and we've read some of those on the show. But today, for the first time, we have one of our listeners that's going to come on and talk
Yeah.
to us and
Yeah,
tell a story,
exactly.
tell a little bit about herself. And so we're going to have Rachel jump on here in just a
Yeah.
minute and talk to her, and
Yeah.
then we'll go on with our topic. But I'm excited to have our first guest that's a listener and
Yes.
fan of the show.
That's
So that's
right.
cool.
That's right.
Yes.
All right. Well, I will bring her on.
Hey Jamie, hey Jen.
Hi, welcome
Hi.
to the
I'm a big
show.
fan. Yeah, I'm a big fan of your show. Thank you for having me
Awesome.
on.
Very
Yes.
good. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks so much for being here with us. Yes.
We
We want to, yeah.
we
Let's,
were just talking about how you are we've had listeners write in with stories, and we've read some of those on the show, but you're our first live listener to come on and talk and tell a
Really?
story. Yeah, you're
Okay,
the,
cool.
the first one. So welcome.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Yeah.
And so you want to talk a little bit about how you found our show and kind of that whole,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I do acting, and I was looking for some calls for actors, and I was signing up for this really small role. And then I found out that you were connected to it, and I was writing you. We kind of wrote back and forth, and then I found out that you had this podcast, and then we talked a little bit about the Crescent Hotel, and I'd been there before, and you were
Yeah.
telling me how interested you were in the paranormal. And so we kind of clicked a little bit there
Yes.
with our interests.
I love
Yeah.
the Crescent. I need to get back there. It's such a cool place to visit, especially for people that love the paranormal. It is a gold mine. So, yeah.
It's wonderful. I love the ghost tour. Oh, it's so much fun.
Yes. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you found our podcast that way. But
Mhm.
we both worked on Jen and I both worked on Phantom Moon, which was shot in Oklahoma, and so that's how
Okay.
we met you, and then also you found the podcast, so it was kind of cool. It was a kind of cool
Yeah,
connection.
and I just started watching a whole bunch of the episodes, and I was really getting into it. And then
Yeah.
I started kind of going, maybe I should tell her about something that happened to me. I,
Yes, I'm
I
glad you
normally
did.
don't talk about it, but when I noticed that all these people were coming on here, or you were looking at these stories that people had told you, and you
Yeah.
had your story, I was like, I can be brave enough to talk about
Yeah,
that.
and you do. I mean, we
Yeah.
totally get that. I mean, we talk about this weekly, but we still are like, not everyone is a believer. And so it's hard, to come on and tell your truth because there's going to be some people that are like, yeah, whatever. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
You're going to have those people, but, we're here to tell the stories and, hopefully that helps people feel a little less crazy and, because
Right.
these things
Right.
happen and, we're here to testify to that. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, and I've been pretty skeptical a lot of my life of things. And then when this event happened in my life, I became even more interested in kind of paranormal things
Right.
because of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I'm still kind of skeptical sometimes. Yeah.
But I
Sure.
think it's good to not just be on board with everything. You still have
Exactly.
to have, your own perspective and your own thoughts and
Mhm.
beliefs. If you believed everything you saw, that would be trouble too. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so you do acting and
Yes, I do acting. I've worked on a few independent films. I've only started acting a few years ago, so I don't have a really long
oh,
list yet.
that's
But
okay. Yeah.
yeah, you can search. I think it's IMDb, and you can look up which films I've been in.
Nice.
My first film was a horror film, so
Oh,
Very good. That's
okay.
usually how
yeah,
it works.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true.
It
That's
was
very
great. I
true.
loved it.
Yeah.
I got hooked. I was like, I have to keep doing this acting.
Yes.
Yes, I know it is addicting for sure. I
Yeah.
started off acting and then kind of moved over to more of the crew and production side,
Mhm.
but I was a theater major actually, so
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
that's pretty
then
cool.
I switched over to psychology because I was like, I
Yeah,
guess I need
yeah.
to get a real job, how people
Oh,
say
I know what you
that,
mean.
so but
I
yeah.
actually have a degree in psychology too, and
Oh, nice.
I also have a degree in fine arts. So
Yeah.
Very
besides
cool.
doing little acting things here and there,
Yeah.
as an artist, so I do
Very cool.
fine art
Yes,
painting.
and your
Yeah,
art is amazing.
thank
So
you.
Yes.
please talk about that a little bit because I can see some pieces behind you and I've seen some of your
Yeah,
other work online. So when did you start with the art?
it it's my passion. It's been my passion since I was a kid, but I think more or less probably 2005
Okay.
ish.
So
Kind of
that,
really going into it more professionally.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
That
So
is
about 20
awesome.
years. That's amazing.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is.
Yeah.
I love it. I love doing the shows. I like coming up with the themes. I love seeing people's faces when they see the work. Yeah.
I think that's
Isn't that
good.
the best? It is. Yeah, for sure. I know that you had a show not long ago in Tulsa, and I missed
Yes.
it because I was actually in Michigan when you had the show in
Oh,
Oklahoma.
yes.
Yeah.
I just had a show in Tulsa, actually. Yeah, at the
Ooh,
Equality Center. Rainbows, pixels, and the surreal. So it was kind of a mixture of all those three things.
I love
It was
that.
really good. The turnout was really good for it.
Very cool.
That is
Well, we'll
awesome.
be sure and put some links
Yes.
to your
Yeah, yeah,
work.
yeah.
Yeah, in the show notes.
You can look me up on Instagram under Rachel and Kendrick, and
Okay.
pretty much it'll bring up everything.
Okay.
Awesome. And we'll post a link to your Instagram and
Mhm.
if there's
Thank
any
you.
other places that you want people to check out, just let us know
Yeah,
and give us the links and we'll be sure and give you a shout out in the show notes for that. So
yeah,
that's
that sounds
awesome.
great. Yeah,
But I know we have a spooky podcast, so we got to get into
yeah,
this.
yeah. We gotta get to that. Okay, okay. I'm nervous. I'm a little nervous.
Oh,
Okay.
it's
My
okay.
wife, my wife knows this story.
Okay.
And my brother and the people that were there, but
Sure.
nobody else. So
Okay.
Yes.
this is kind of a, I kind of just kept it to myself for so many years because I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't want people to think I'm
Yeah.
No,
crazy.
we
That's
get it.
exactly what happens. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like this, honestly, doing this show, there's been so many things that I have opened up about,
Hmm.
and no one else, I've never mentioned it before, said anything about it before, really. And yeah, it's just one of those things. Like I want, we want to kind of normalize this in a sense because, this stuff happens.
It
This
does.
stuff
Yeah.
happens.
And haunted houses. I mean, once you've seen one, you're like a believer.
That's
That's my opinion anyway, or been in
That's
one.
exactly it. And so it's one of those things where I think this is great for people to be able to come and feel comfortable and talk about it because who hopefully we want to help other people feel not crazy about this.
Oh,
These
I
things
know.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing this. I know this isn't
You're
easy,
welcome.
but this is a safe space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. So what
Okay, this is a
happened?
long time ago. I don't want to age myself by saying exactly the year. But okay, this was before cell phones. So I don't have any proof. I have no pictures, no video, nothing. Okay.
Yes.
I've got my account, and then there was another witness and then a couple other witnesses.
Okay.
I tried to get a hold of them for this podcast, but I couldn't get a hold of anybody. So I
Okay.
was
That's
like, well, I'll
okay.
just tell my side of it. Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
um, yeah. All right. So I was it's kind of hard. Um, I was in let's say high school. I think I was about 18.
Okay.
Yeah, about 17, 18. I went to school in Hartshorn, Oklahoma. I don't know if any of you know where that is, but it's in Oklahoma. Anyway, I went to high school there. I met a friend. She was this new girl at school. I'm not going to tell anybody's names because I didn't get anybody's permission.
That's
That's
okay.
So
fine. Yep.
she was this new girl at school, and we became really fast friends. And I would go to her house, we'd hang out, paint our nails, whatever, teenage girls do,
Yep.
silly stuff like that. And we were hanging out one day, and her boyfriend came over, and he was saying something before he left that he spent the night sometimes, and he said he didn't like staying there as much because he was waking up at night with some feeling like someone was choking him.
Mm.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
I don't like that.
No.
Yeah, I was kind of into the occult in high school just because of like movies like The Craft and things like that, but not like heavily into it. I was just like, oh, this is interesting. I'm curious about this. I wonder what's going on here. And
Yeah.
I didn't believe him, to be honest. I thought he was making it up to like scare us or something. At first, I just thought, well, he's leaving, whatever. Let's just hang out, eat some macaroni and cheese, and listen to music or whatever. Plan for the dance. And then my friend, she was in the kitchen and she says, I keep feeling like something's watching me
Mm.
when I'm by myself. And
Mm.
I didn't feel anything weird. Like I'd spent the night there a few times and I had weird dreams. But
Okay.
I just thought I just had weird dreams. I
Right.
didn't think it was any kind of like ghost thing or anything.
Right.
And so I'd really been getting into meditation, like spirituality stuff, Wicca, things like that. And so I was really kind of into the supernatural. So I thought, let's prove what's going on here. Or let's see if something's really going on, if she's joking around or if he's joking around, whatever. So
Right.
we were alone one night, and I decided I wanted to be really brave and like check it out because
Okay.
we were bored. There was nothing to do. We had a flashlight. We go out there. We're on her back porch. And her mom's gone a lot. So it's just me and her hanging out, which was fun because don't have to listen to parents.
Right.
Anyway, so we go
Right.
we go back there, and we're I'm not expecting to see anything, but she kept saying she felt like something was watching her. So we go back to her back porch. Now her back porch faces like a yard, right? And then there's like a tree line. And this was night, it was at nighttime, so it was hard to see stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got with this little flashlight and we're standing there, and I said, hey, I've been doing some like meditation stuff and like learning about energy and like magic, and I said, so
Yeah.
let's stand here, I'll use your energy and my energy, and we'll see if we can get something to happen. So but I just, it's kind of like playing with the Ouija board. You don't think anything's gonna happen, you're just like
Right.
Right.
having fun
Yeah.
as a teenager. So we stand there and I start noticing this like fog, look kind of like fog. And it
Ooh.
was like dark and it looked darker than the shadows around it. And it
Oh
was
yeah.
going through the trees and moving
Hmm.
around. And I was saying, hey, do you see that? Am I like crazy? And she said, yeah, oh yeah, I see that. So we just kept standing there. I didn't know what to
Ooh.
do. We kept watching it, and then it's like solidified
Ooh.
in the shape of a person
Yeah.
just standing in the tree line.
Ooh.
And I was completely terrified. Like I couldn't move. I couldn't like I couldn't hardly talk, and she couldn't either. We were both just like, where did this
Frozen.
person come from?
Right.
Yeah.
They're just standing there. And the person looked really strange. They didn't look like a normal person.
Oh.
They had like very dark hair. Their eyes were like black,
Hmm.
Yeah.
like very
Hmm.
spooky, very scary.
Yes.
The skin kind of looked like dewy and this
Oh.
like purplish hue to it.
Okay.
It was very
Interesting.
creepy. Very,
Yeah.
very creepy. I'd never seen anything like it in my life. I was completely terrified.
Yes.
My friend was very terrified. Of course, I was like, you see that? You see that, right? And she's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so we go back inside. We close like it's a sliding glass door, and we're just running. We just
Yeah.
Heck
get
yeah.
back inside
Yep.
to get away from it. And I thought I heard it. Now I don't know. It's been so many years. Some of the details are probably not correct, but I heard it. I thought I heard it say it was going to try to kill us,
Oh
right?
my
So we
Oh,
gosh.
run back inside,
yeah.
and she's more terrified than me.
Oh no.
And she starts crying and freaking out,
Oh
right? Like
yeah.
she's bawling
Oh
and hiding. And I'm like, going, what just happened? I have no idea what just happened.
yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, this place is really haunted. It is
Yeah.
really haunted.
That's
And
so scary.
and
Yeah.
it was terrifying. And then she started praying and she got her Bible out and she thought that would, make us safe. And it did make us
Yeah.
feel a lot safer.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And we stayed in the house and I would like go back and see if I saw it again because I was
Okay.
You're
Yeah.
anxious.
brave.
But
You are
yeah.
brave. Yeah.
But it wasn't back there anymore. I'm like, well, there's nothing
Okay.
back there, and I don't know. What was odd about it was it was pretty weird because it didn't have like an outfit on like I read up on a lot of ghost stories, and it didn't
Yeah.
have an outfit on like most of the ghosts. It was like naked, which was
Right.
freakier.
That is
Okay,
freaky.
Sure.
For
okay,
sure.
it was pretty
Yeah.
freaky, and
Mm-hmm.
so
Yes.
we're in the house. We're both freaking out. I'm trying to get her to calm down.
Hmm.
Yep.
And her mom comes home,
Oh,
and her mom's boyfriend comes home, and they see how we're acting,
yeah.
and we're both really scared. And she goes, what is wrong with y'all? Like, why are y'all crying? Why are you acting like what happened? Right? She thinks something really bad happened.
Yeah.
And we're both still in shock. Can't get the words out of what happened. And
Yeah.
then I finally say there's a woman in the backyard. And
Okay.
so they think there's a woman in the
An
backyard,
actual woman. Yeah.
like an
Right.
actual woman.
Yeah.
So they go back there and like her mom's boyfriend goes and searches and her mom was, I don't want to like give away who she is because she doesn't know I'm talking about this.
Yeah.
She worked in like law enforcement. So like we
Oh,
didn't
Okay.
have
okay.
police and nothing. You know, but she went back there looking. They both looked, searched for like 30 minutes to see if there was an actual person back there.
Oh my
And
God.
then they came back in. We were still upset, both of us. And then I
Yeah.
said, I think it might have been a ghost or something. And I think your house is haunted. And she said, are you guys on drugs? Are
Oh
you guys
no.
getting high?
Yeah.
Or
That's a
whatever.
common
And we
response, I
weren't.
think.
We
Yeah.
weren't. She thought something like she thought we were hallucinating and we were like
Right.
up to no good. We're teenagers.
Sure.
Anyway, so she even shined a light in our eyes. I was like
Oh
so
Oh,
convinced.
gosh. Wow.
And she's like, well, y'all are not high, so I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
So she takes a shower and then she comes back out and she she comes back we're both calmed down and she comes and talks to me and I say, I don't know what that was. I don't know what's going on here. I'm like really freaked out. And she said, oh, well, sometimes the devil plays tricks on your mind or whatever. And like that
Mhm.
was her excuse for it. I don't
Right.
know,
Yeah.
but her house was definitely haunted.
They're
Yeah.
like,
Or
lady,
in
this
my
is
opinion, it
not
was.
the
Now,
devil.
Yeah.
Your house is haunted.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
yeah, I thought it was like some kind of I'm like somebody like buried in your backyard. Come on now, like I'm getting
Right.
out
Yeah.
of here.
There's
I left
something.
because I'm not
Yeah.
sticking around.
Right.
I didn't hang out there at
I don't blame you.
because it
That's
was so
scary.
scary.
Yeah. I mean, what
And
you
that
described,
it's still yeah.
what you described
Yeah.
with the black eyes and the mist
Oh yeah.
forming into a human, that's a very common, occurrence like in
Is
the
it? Okay. I
world.
didn't do
Yeah.
enough research on
Yeah,
that.
many people report the like black-eyed apparitions
Yeah.
and also just, human shape, not quite human, but human-esque,
Oh yeah, like
shape.
it
So,
definitely looked human, but I
yeah,
don't think it was human. And
right.
I
Yeah.
talked to my wife about it, and she said, "Do you think?" She's like, "I'm being skeptical. Do you think it could have been a homeless person?" I'm like, "I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Right. I think you
No,
would
there's
know. Yeah, you would know the
yeah.
difference.
I tried to just forget about it,
Yeah.
because it was so creepy. But
Yeah.
the older I get, I'm like, I don't care anymore. It's so long
Yeah.
ago.
No, I mean, I get it. There were
Yeah.
things that have happened to me from like childhood up, and I really kind of didn't think about them again until we kind of started talking about similar stories. I'm like, oh my gosh, something like that happened to me when I was a kid. I totally forgot about it until now.
Mhm.
So these things are, I think that we just kind of push them back
Yes.
in our minds, and then sometimes something will trigger that memory. So it's interesting.
Yes.
Oh, I agree. I think so. Yeah. I don't like
Sharing that.
talking
I
about it
know.
much.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I
that's
get it.
understandable. I mean, because
Yeah.
that's incredibly scary. I don't care how old you would be. I mean, if you're watching a mist suddenly turned into something that looks human and they're naked and they're in your backyard, and I mean, that's terrifying. That's terrifying. And it's,
Oh yeah.
yeah. And if it's telling you, it wants to kill you on top of it, I mean, my gosh. Yeah. So I'm glad that you were able to leave and go home. I
Yes.
wonder, do we know your friend? Did they ever experience anything else after that? Or was it
Um,
all
you
about it?
know, uh, After that happened, we kind of lost touch, we weren't super close after that because I was just really freaked out.
Sure,
Yeah, I
And
sure.
don't blame you.
her mom didn't want us hanging out as much after that either. And
Oh,
they moved out of that house pretty
oh,
fast.
They
okay.
did.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Interesting.
that could
Yeah.
be your answer. And the way you said her friend, your friend's mom had kind of was trying to explain, saying, the devil plays tricks and things like that, makes me almost wonder if she had experienced some things and
Mm,
I mean, it wasn't about to share them with you because, right, that would have made things worse. If you're like,
right.
someone's like, oh, yeah, no, the
Oh
place
yeah,
is
we would.
haunted. Let me tell you what's going on. That's
Yeah.
scarier for, for a kid. I mean, teens, you're still a kid.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
scary.
yeah, I was the kid. Yeah, when this
Yeah.
Yeah.
happened again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
So it
sure.
makes me wonder if maybe this was not the first experience, and especially if your friend's boyfriend had that sensation of being choked or something like that. I
Yes.
mean, it's
Hmm.
it's possible that there could have been other experiences happening. No one wanted to talk about it, right? No one was going to say anything.
Yeah.
Exactly. I agree with you. I think there was other stuff going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know even in our house, so yeah, I know you've heard about my house in Lamar, Arkansas.
Yeah. Yes,
We
I
didn't
watched
talk.
your video.
Yeah, we didn't talk to each other. Like things would happen and we just didn't want to sound crazy, so we would keep it to ourselves at first. And so like my husband at the time,
Mhm.
things would happen and he would just not tell me, and then I would experience things and not tell him, and then eventually we had to tell each other because things it was just too much. But it's crazy because like you don't want people to think you're insane, so you kind of keep that stuff to yourself, and then it gets to a point where you have to talk about it if it's obvious that there's something going on. So I get it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, after that happened, I didn't tell anyone what had
Yeah.
happened because I was worried people, even as a teenager, I was worried people would think I was crazy. But I
Yeah.
did start researching lots of I thought it was some kind of like supernatural thing, like you know how you can use a Ouija board or you can do like mediums or something. Like
Right.
I thought it had something to do with that. So I did a lot of research on things like that. But
Right.
it never really
Yeah.
led me to anything. I never really I finally just kind of gave up on trying to explain it and just moved on to my life.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, because
that
you
makes
have
sense.
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, we have discovered here since doing the show, I mean, the more research we do on things, there's just some things that can't be explained. And we may never know what those things are, but they're happening. And I think it's wonderful that we're
Yeah.
about it. And yeah, so we really appreciate you telling the story because
Oh, thank you.
we got to talk about it because this could be
It was like a weight off me actually being able to tell it.
That's
Like,
wonderful. That's so
yeah.
Yeah.
great. Yeah, that's what we're kind of hoping for. And there's listeners listening to this right now, and they will be like, "Oh, thank goodness," because they had a similar situation as you. Or, there's
Mhm.
things that they're like, "Oh, I've not been able to tell my significant other about this thing, these things," or I couldn't tell my parents, or,
Yeah.
I mean, so this happens. It happens a
Oh,
lot.
Yeah.
yeah. It does.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know Jen and I both have had people reach out to us because they felt comfortable telling their story, and they
Mhm.
haven't been able to tell it to anybody because they're afraid. And then we'll get an email or we'll get a call, just, hey, you're listening to your story, reminding me of what happened to me. And I've never
Mhm.
really talked about it, but I feel comfortable talking to you. And so I'm happy that you were able to come on and talk about it. That's why we're here, to make it a little more normal.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
people do worry about like other people's opinion of them
Yeah.
and I sometimes I wonder like different people have different views on different things. So like a priest might see it one way, somebody that's not religious, that's a skeptic might see it another way.
Right.
Somebody might say, because I have a degree in psychology, they may say, oh, well, maybe it was just stress and we both hallucinated.
Right.
You never know. Like,
Yeah.
but I don't think so.
I know. There's
Yeah.
always some kind of theory that is going to counteract whatever paranormal theory you have. There's always going to be something. And really, it's what it boils down to is, what do you believe? So
Yeah.
that's what matters.
Right.
So,
Right.
I
yeah.
think it's good. I think it's good to have these times where people do go and check the houses out and do
Yeah.
the readings and
Right.
take photos because then people really can kind of see. Like I have no evidence, so
Right.
I don't want to say where it is because I don't want people to like go there and
No.
look that
Right.
Yeah.
aren't like
Yeah.
actual investigators,
And they
which is
will.
why I've kind of kept it
Trust
private
me,
where
they
it's at.
will. Yeah. I
Yeah,
would. As soon as I
but
hear about a haunted house, boom, where's that thing at? Let me at it.
I know. And I drive past this area a lot and
Yeah.
I'll sometimes I'll go by that house. I'll just drive by it and I'll be like, "Yep, it's for sale again."
Yeah. I
Yes.
know.
Okay.
It's
Mhm.
yeah, no one's living in it.
Yeah,
I
And
mean,
it just makes you wonder.
that's what
for
Jamie
sure.
does. Jamie drives
Wonder.
past her old house and she's like, "Oh, up for sale again."
All the time. Every time I'm in that area, I have to drive past it. And I'm like, oh, it's up for sale again. Wonder how long they'll be there. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it happens. You notice on the places where there's stories, they're gonna turn over their
Yeah.
occupants very, very
Yeah,
quickly.
nobody will stay there very long.
Nope, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Rachel. I have one more question. Does I know you
Very
said you
welcome.
you have been interested in the paranormal and you're also an artist. Have you ever kind of
Hmm.
intertwined the two? Like, is your art ever influenced by anything spiritual or supernatural or paranormal? I was just curious
Well,
about that.
I like, I really like the paranormal, and I have had paranormal experiences, so that does influence it. But
Uh-huh.
I kind of use like a lot of my intuition to paint some of my abstract pieces. And so I do think sometimes I paint things that could be considered a little spiritual. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I
was
see
just
that.
curious. Yeah.
Not always on purpose, but
Yeah.
Sure.
No, I get that. Yeah. You got to go with the muse.
hmm.
That's awesome.
Yes. Well,
That's
thank you. And
awesome.
you guys, we will post the link to Rachel's
Okay.
Instagram and any of the other places that we can show you where to find her art. And we really appreciate you coming on and telling your story. It was awesome.
It, it's great being here, and it's great getting to share it, and just hopefully other people know, there are haunted houses. There are things we can't explain. That doesn't mean you're crazy.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes,
We
thank you.
appreciate hearing that still too, even though
Yes,
we
Yeah.
talked week. It's still really nice to hear.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was wonderful talking with you.
it was awesome. Thank you,
Thank you
Rachel.
so much.
Enjoy the rest of your
Bye.
weekend. Bye.
I
Bye.
will. All right.
Bye.
All right, Jamie, are you ready for our
I'm ready.
story for the evening?
I am.
A good deal. Well,
It's a
I'm
good one.
prepared. I have my Canadian coffee with me
I,
this evening.
yes, I'm so
Jamie,
jealous.
Jamie almost had her Canadian
I
coffee.
waited too late. They were closed. Canada, why you close so early?
Yep, they were like, you get cut off, I think, of
I
caffeine after a
know.
certain
I
point.
know.
Yes.
So I had to get a Sweetwater coffee,
Okay.
but not Tim Hortons. I wanted to
Yeah.
celebrate our Canadian story
We have a
today,
Canadian
but
story tonight. Yes.
yes,
Yep.
yes.
So, but great minds. Can you believe it? It
I
was so
know.
funny because
Yeah,
Jamie was like, "Oh, I was gonna get Tim Hortons," and I was like,
I know.
I got the Timmy's before it
Good.
closed." So, yep,
Yes.
yep, got
Good
this. So,
job.
yeah. But I forget sometimes like Tim Hortons is not everywhere.
Mm-mm.
It's not. You don't
It's
have a
not.
Tim Hortons out in
No,
Oklahoma,
we
right?
don't.
You not out
Nope.
west.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Okay. So yeah. So everybody who does not have Tim Hortons, it is a delicious Canadian company that has,
Yes.
yeah, fantastic coffee and bakery treats. And Timbits.
Yeah.
That's a Timbits.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has a name for their donut
They're
holes,
like munchkins at
like Munchkins.
Dunkin'.
Yes.
Yeah. I did get some munchkins today
Yeah,
too.
Munchkins are good.
Shamefully, I made a coffee before I left,
Yeah.
home coffee.
Yep.
Then about 2 hours later, went to Dunkin' Donuts and got a frozen coffee
Okay. Yep.
and some munchkins.
Yes.
And then on the way here to record, I got another coffee.
Yes.
So I
I'm
don't know
right
what's
there
wrong
with
with
you,
me.
except for I
Yeah.
didn't do a cold coffee midway. I stopped at Taco Bell and got one of these Rockstar Refrescas, which has just as much caffeine, possibly more. I don't know what's in. I mean, it's an energy drink.
Yeah.
We're
Oh
buzzing,
my God.
everybody. This is,
We are
we don't know what you're gonna get tonight.
off the rails tonight. That's right.
To get real crazy.
Yes. All
Oh,
right.
good. Okay, good. Let's get started. So, yes,
Let's do it.
our story tonight is a Canadian one, uh, because we love Canada.
We love Canada.
So this takes place in 1878. This is not a current story. 1878 in Amherst, Nova Scotia. And Esther Cox was just 19 years old. She lived in a small house with her married sister Olive, which I love that name, Olive. I
I
just
do too. That's
did.
cool.
Yes. Her sister Olive and Olive's husband Daniel Teed. along with their two young sons, Willie and George, Esther's sister Jenny, and her brother John, and Daniel's brother, whose name was also John, lived with them as well. This was literally a full house.
Was
Full house completely. And I don't think the house was huge, so I'm sure people were up
cozy.
in elbows. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Esther was shy and small and worked long days as a dressmaker. She was, by all accounts, just a regular person, just doing her
Yeah.
thing, 19 years old. On the afternoon of August 28th, 1878, Esther went out driving with Bob McNeil. He was a local man known for not being the most savory of characters,
Hmm.
which I'm not 100% sure why they were together, why she would have gone
Either.
with him. I don't know. I've not heard why. So that's a
Yeah, I heard something. He was obsessed with her. Like he was very pushy and just like really wanted there to be a thing with her. And she kind of just gave in, was like, I'll hang out with him, and I'm not really into
yes,
him,
yeah.
kind of thing. And yeah,
So
so
that's the thing. So maybe it was just a matter of like, okay, let's go hang out kind of a thing.
right.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, so but he was not known for being the nicest of guys. And during
Mm-mm.
their drive, Bob suddenly pulled the buggy over in a remote area and pointed a gun at Esther, telling her to get out of the buggy. Unsure of what plans Bob had in store for her, Esther was scared and refused, which I understand. She was probably like, I don't know what's going to happen if I get out of this,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
If I
Yeah.
leave here, I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm not going to leave, right? She was probably like, whatever, if you're going
Right.
to do it, whatever's going to happen, this is where it's going to happen, right? We're going to on the road.
Yeah.
Um, because of this, Esther's refusal made him very mad, but luckily she was saved because there were sounds of another wagon kind of approaching in the distance. And so this, Bob was worried about this, so he put his gun away and drove Esther back home. Thank goodness. It's said that he left Amherst shortly after this incident. He was still alive in 1879. And I'm telling you that now because down the road through the story, this will make a little more sense. But he was very much
Right.
alive during this time. And after this, in her home, something seemed to awaken because of this incident. Weeks later, strange noises are heard in her bedroom, scratching, knocking, always with the
Knocking.
knocking, breathing, and no one is there. At first, her family blamed rats, right? There's just rats in the wall,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
the wind, bad dreams, of course. It must be something else you're dreaming it until they watched something impossible. Esther's bed began to shake violently. Her blankets were ripped off the mattress, and a pillow flew across the room. The family stared in horror as she began to like writhe in bed. She was very pale, her eyes got wide, and on the wall behind her, her name appeared spelled out in scratches.
Yes, that's so freaky.
Ah, yeah,
That is
this
so
is
freaky.
a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, news spread quickly in this small town, right? It's not Amherst, not very big. Clergy, neighbors, even amateur ghost hunters crowded into the house. I mean, I'm fascinated by this in the, 1870s because
Yeah.
these are the types of things, we've heard about happening now. These are stories we talk about now, how
Yeah.
you get a haunting and all of a sudden everyone just starts showing
Yeah.
up, right? They just,
Yeah. And it's not like they posted it on Instagram.
yes,
Like this
not
was
then.
just, it spread like wildfire just by mouth through the town.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Old school social media.
Yeah.
This got around, absolutely. So I'm like, that is so interesting to me that everyone is just like, okay, we're here.
Yeah.
Bring on the ghost. Let's see what's happening. And they wanted because they wanted the proof, right? And
Uh-huh.
they got it all right. So Astor asked the ghost to answer questions by knocking once for yes and twice for no. She said, "Are you here for me?" And there was one loud knock. She said, "Will you leave this house?" Two knocks. She said, "Do you want to harm?" Well, someone had said, "Do you want to harm Esther Cox?" And there was a huge boom that hit. It was like
Oh,
a huge, deafening knock.
yes.
I mean, no one wants to hear that.
No. No.
It's that answer through their knock. No, there's no
No.
way.
And I was kind of doing some research on this as well, and some of the things I read were these knocks. They're not just knocks. They were when it says boom, they mean it. They were the neighbors heard it. Like it was heard like up to 200
Yes.
yards away. Like
Yes.
it was a loud boom.
Yes.
It's crazy.
If you,
Yeah.
I'm actually, researching this particular topic. I was really brought back to our episode on Hell House. This is the
Yes.
type of stuff that was happening to the Pomeranian family.
Yep.
Even the pillows, right? I mean, one
Yes. I
Pomeranian had
know.
was being suffocated by the pillow.
Yep.
Um, and later, witnesses, right? I mean, it's the same
Yeah.
type of thing.
Same thing. Mhm.
With Hell House, there was firefighters, police officers,
Yep.
scientists. I mean, people were
So
coming in,
many.
just so many people. And this is the same thing, like 100 years before.
Yeah. Yeah.
This to me is so interesting. I mean, this is nothing new. These types of
No.
hauntings and loud, big booms. I mean, both
Mhm.
stories, it was just these
Yep.
massive,
Massive.
shaking booms. So, yeah. So I just like what? There's hauntings and then there's like hauntings,
These
right?
are like 2.0. It's yeah, it's a
Yes.
lot.
This is absolutely a lot.
Yeah.
After the questioning, the violent activity only grew worse, right? Esther began to wake up with bite marks, scratches down her arms. She even found
Mm.
needles stuck into her skin without explanation.
This
Needles,
girl was tortured.
tortured,
It's horrible.
right?
Yeah.
By an unseen force, which is what do you do, right? What on
Yeah.
earth do you do?
And it's just crazy that her life was completely normal
Yes.
before this whole thing with what was his name? Bob? No. Bob?
Stop.
Bob. Yeah. This whole thing with Bob. And then it was like, what happened? I mean,
Right.
why suddenly after that incident did this stuff start happening? It's
Exactly.
strange.
It is so
Yeah.
strange. At one point, witnesses claim they saw a phantom writing in midair using burning sulfur to form a sentence which said, Esther Cox, you are mine to kill. And I have to tell you, the image that popped into my mind when I heard this, all I could think of was like the Wizard of Oz and recently Wicked. And I feel like when the Wicked Witch, when Elphaba
Yes.
could write in the sky, that's all I could
Right.
think of. I was like, are
Yeah.
these things like
That's so
skywriting? Like
crazy.
we want you dead? Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know you're in
Yeah.
trouble when the ghosts start skywriting.
It's nuts. Yep.
It's crazy. So I kind of mentioned before, the home was getting visited by several people trying to figure out what on earth is going on. And one of the people who came was a man by the name of Walter Hubble. And Hubble wrote a book called The Great Amherst Mystery, where he recounts his personal experiences during this time he spent with Esther and her family. He kind of moved right in for a couple of months.
Yep.
He observed the events and everything and what the family was doing pretty much from June of 1879 to August of 1879. Um, so Hubble believed he was kind of the authority on elusive effects that stage performers like himself, that's his background,
Mhm.
would use to entertain and trick audiences into believing, that they were performing magic acts, right? So he himself
Right.
was almost like a performer, like a magician.
Yeah.
He kind of felt like, I'm an illusionist. I bet you I can call out other people who are
Right. Yeah.
creating something very similar to this. He totally believed he was able to decipher any type of trickery and deception being used. So that was kind of like he kind of wanted to come in and
Yeah.
he came in as a skeptic and was like, if they're
Yeah.
doing something, I'm going to figure this out.
Right.
So one time, Hubble actually observed Esther's face kind of went blood red. Her eyes started bulging out. Her hands were actually grasping the back of a chair so tightly that her fingernails were like sinking into the wood. Esther's account,
Oh,
yeah, I know. She later said that she had become so swollen, she felt like she was gonna burst, and her skin
that's
had
what it,
become incredibly hot. Yeah,
yes, that's what I was picturing when it was saying that. I was like, it sounds like she's about to like explode,
she sounded like a
like
tit
just
that was getting ready
pop.
to pop. But yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yes. So because
Whew.
of this, right, because of these conditions that she was feeling, like your first thought, well, let's call the doctor, right?
Right.
So a local doctor named Dr. Carrot was called to the Teed home to examine Esther's strange symptoms. He diagnosed her with nervous excitement, right? I love that. I love that diagnosis.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when women were diagnosed with hysteria. That's
Right.
their
Yes.
favorite, right? So she must have nervous excitement and prescribed her a sedative to help treat it. Now, the doctor had informed Hubble that on one occasion he had given her an ounce of bromide of potassium, which today is actually used for dogs that have epilepsy. And I
Okay.
found this intriguing because Roscoe is an epileptic. I don't know if I've ever discussed that on the show before or not. So poor Roscoe, my dog, has epilepsy, and he takes phenobarbital for his
Okay.
seizures. And uh, and so this bromide of potassium now is what's given to dogs when the phenobarbital no longer works.
Wow. So it's some tough stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. He also prescribed 1 pint of brandy and heavy doses of morphine and laudanum, which is actually opium mixed with an alcohol like wine.
Holy
So, yeah,
crap.
I mean, here in my house, I call that a Saturday night. So, I mean, this,
Yeah.
no, what are you gonna do? No, but this is like that's a lot. And on the
That's
same
crazy.
night, without the slightest effect to her system, she took all of that and had it did nothing for her. The doctor actually stated on the same night that the medicine, all this medicine, all this stuff was neutralized by the ghosts.
Oh, wow. Huh.
So even when you have a doctor saying, I've
And
given
she
her
was
these things,
little.
but the ghost, and she was, right? She's just a little thing,
Little.
a pint of
Yeah.
brandy.
Huh. That's crazy because it's like when I was listening to some of the stories on this, it's mentioned several times that she was just a tiny little thing. She was a little thing. And that's enough to like take down a couple horses, you know?
Exactly. The type of medication he was putting her on, opioids, morphine, with alcohol,
Yeah.
with drugs that are used for epileptic dogs,
Yeah.
and nothing is helping. There's something wrong, right? There's something
Something's not
there's a-
right.
yeah. Yeah. I say this is if you're on YouTube watching right now, Roscoe clearly is also having he can't get comfortable.
I like
He
it.
has been moving his blanket around, all around,
Yeah.
around. Yeah, here he goes.
Look at him.
He just,
Aw.
yep, he just doesn't know where to go. Yeah, there you go. There I
That's
go.
hilarious.
Yeah,
He's just
and
trying to get
he
comfortable.
is. We go through this every night with he moves his bed, he moves his blanket.
Aw.
Very particular. Here he comes again. I mean, yeah, whatever. He's
He's got to find the right spot.
Yeah, he does. Or maybe we need to get him the rest of the medication that Esther got here too. Not
Right? I know.
phenobarbital, maybe
Give
a
a
little
little.
a bit of brandy and morphine. He'll finally get comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll do it,
Right?
surely. Unless your ghost might neutralize it. I
That
don't
could
know.
be it. Yeah. Then nothing. Yeah, nothing's gonna help him. So in December of that year, Esther was diagnosed with diphtheria, and during this time, all the paranormal activity took a pause.
See, I think that's so interesting.
Mhm.
Huh.
Right.
Okay.
People
Yeah.
would question that too, don't you think?
Right.
They would go,
Yeah.
wait a minute, she's super sick and nothing is going on. Can't you just see the skeptics at that
Oh,
point
yeah.
going, oh, okay, she's
Jump
just
all
sick,
over that.
all these things. Right.
But in my mind, I'm thinking she's down. Like, you know what I mean? Like she's down. one of the things that one of the theories or the way she was described um after the incident with Bob,
Yeah.
it was like, and then all this stuff started happening. It was like she was a human battery, and that like she was almost like static electricity was happening. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like she,
Mhm.
and so I think if she was sick, then
The battery is
that's
drained.
all down. Her battery's drained.
Mhm.
Right. So
Right. There's nothing
anyway,
you can do. Yeah.
yeah.
There's so many ways you could go with that situation and theories you could have during that time of when
Uh-huh.
she was really sick. It's endless. Who knows,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah, you could question it and just try to figure it out, and we never have the answer. I don't know, but it's interesting. But afterwards, she had to have been hospitalized because she came back to the house.
Hmm.
And that's when small fires began to start around the house. This was the other thing that reminded me very much of the Hell
Hmm.
House story because they had
Yes.
3 fires.
Right.
And so this is like super concerning for me. Like I hate that. I mean, it's bad
Me
enough to
too.
have the knocking and the haunting and the things and but ghosts can start fires?
I know. It's so crazy. Yes.
Come
No
on.
thanks. No thanks. Yeah.
No, that's
Mm-mm.
horrible.
It
That's
is.
horrible. Yes, and the same thing happened to the Pomeranian family um, in their home, and the same thing is happening here. And I just can't wrap my head around this
Me
happening.
either.
But it's a yeah. Um, so there was a fire that had actually started in the cellar of the Teeds home. So this is happening. All the family members, including Esther, were visible and accounted for when that fire started. So they were all together. No one had like snuck away to do this. So shortly after the fire, a ghost had appeared to Esther and insisted that if she did not leave the house that very night, he would set the loft on fire and burn them all to death.
Oh my gosh.
Right. So these things are having like full blown conversations with her,
Yes.
giving her
Whew.
warning. I mean, this has to be one of, I mean, case wise, not only the activity, it's the stuff that's happening, but the encounters, the
Yeah.
conversations. And it's
Yeah.
not just Esther. Other people are seeing these things.
Yes.
It's wild.
It
It's
is
wild.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the family knew that Esther had to leave. I mean, I mean, how hard is that? You know she's going through a tough time, but you're like, if you stay here and this continues, we're all dead.
Yeah.
Fires keep starting. What if everyone was asleep?
Right.
What happens then? So they were able to find a temporary place for her with a friend, John White was his name.
Another John.
Another John, yes, yes. Both the Teed Cottage and the White Home experience kind of a lull in the ghost activity, right? But soon the previous pattern began to repeat. First, the ghost began to make contact with Esther in the White Home. Then the fire started in that home. Can you
Man,
imagine? Ah, that would just be awful.
it would.
John White actually convinced Esther to then work for him at his restaurant saloon that he had. But the ghosts would follow her to work and they would show
Man.
off their abilities to the guests that were around. I mean, this is
Wow.
me another thing. I mean, this is just things happening and all these people are around to experience it and see it. Like how does that happen, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Witnesses. At one point, a knife belonging to John's son was taken from his hands and instantly stabbed Esther in the back 2 times.
Yes, that's nuts. Yeah, two times. Like it went into her back, like flew from his hand, went into her back. They pulled it out. He put it in his pocket and it came back out. It went back into her back. That's insane.
That I have never,
Ugh,
I have never heard a case to date
no,
with something like that happening.
no.
I mean, where is this girl supposed to go? Like, what do you do?
That's
I mean,
horrible. That's horrible.
you call the Catholics, but
Yeah, that's right. I'm surprised they didn't come running on this one.
right. So barn caught on fire. So this thing burnt to the ground.
Yeah.
Of course, at this point now, town authorities are suspicious, not of the ghosts, but of Esther. Some suggested she's faking everything, and others feared she was cursed. I mean, I could
Right.
see that going both ways.
Yeah.
Sure, you're gonna have people be like, this, she's crazy and she's just running around setting fires and pretending like this stuff is going on. Others
Yeah.
are going to think like she is Carrie from Stephen King's Carrie. I mean, you're
Yeah.
not gonna want to be around that.
No. No.
It's terrible. And where do you go? Where does she stay?
Oh, I feel
That
bad for her. It's just awful.
awful. But she was actually arrested and charged with arson. She was sentenced to 4 months in jail. She ended up only serving 1 month. And after her release, this phenomena stopped.
Right. See, and that's weird because I'm sure everybody's like, "Oh, okay, well, she did time, so she learned her lesson. She stopped all the pranks, you know?"
100.
Um,
That's,
right.
I'm sure that went through so many people's minds.
Yeah.
Right. And okay, let's say for a second that let this is completely real. These are the things that were happening. How on earth did this just quit at that moment? Is this what
Yeah.
they wanted? Do the ghosts just wanted people to think that? Like, why then?
Yeah, I know it's so odd. But
Hmm.
there were so many witnesses. You
Hmm.
know, the pre or the I'm sorry, the doctor that was there, he like sat with her and like just watched what was going
Yes,
on. And he like saw the pillow moving laterally across the bed.
yes,
And he even said, "Did you guys see that?" You know? And so then the pillow went back under her head and it came out again and like hit her brother, like flew across the room and hit her brother. And the doctor wrote all this in his notes.
yes.
He like witnessed this.
This
And
is
he
one of
was
the things
also there when it said that
that,
Esther was your mind to kill.
yes, yes.
The doctor was there for that too. Like the witnesses were there during all of this
This is
stuff
one of the things
happening.
that I really like about this case is the
Hmm.
obviously the amount of witnesses and the way that people really documented this.
Yeah,
They,
yeah,
I mean, there are, like you said, there's actual writings of these situations happening. Obviously, Hubble had an entire book of
oh
them.
yeah,
Um,
yep,
but like you said, the doctor's writing this stuff down. Other people are around town are writing this stuff down. The family is
yep,
writing stuff down. These are full-on accounts of people witnessing
right.
these things.
The people at the restaurant, you know
Yes.
what I mean? Like there's so many accounts. It's just crazy. It
Yes.
is. It's almost like the ghost or the demon or the whatever it was that was haunting her wanted her to look
Crazy
guilty,
and
you
crazy.
know?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And that's a definite possibility here.
It's so
So
nuts.
what are some theories on who was actually haunting Esther? Now, some say that the voices of the spirits actually identified themselves. And I said spirits plural because
Mm-hmm.
some people have said it was multiple spirits that were around. Some of their names: Maggie Fisher, her sister Mary Fisher, Peter Cox, Jane Nickel, Eliza McNeil, and Bob Nickel. Hubble had a theory on this, that the astral body of Bob McNeil, who had actually taken her at gunpoint, had been tormenting Esther on the behest of a demon by the name of Bob Nickel. Um,
Hmm.
Hubble believed that after the attack, the demon attached itself to Esther instead and was the most active of all the spirits that were there. So he's saying, Bob McNeil, there's a lot of Bobs here, a lot of
Yeah.
Bobs, a lot of Johns.
Yep.
Bob McNeil, who had actually held her at gunpoint, may have actually had demonic attachment himself. Then, when this exchange happened, that it then attached itself to Esther.
Right.
which I don't know how I don't know where the other spirits then come in. I don't know how that happened. The whole case is so curious, right?
Right.
It's
It
hard because
is.
we'll never have the answers to these, definitively. Um, but these are interesting theories to hear. Um,
Yes.
I I kind of the things that were happening, how could this not be demonic?
Right.
I mean, this is not just a mischievous ghost
No.
here. Something was
No.
trying to kill her. And
Right.
I'm kind of a believer. I think I'm kind of a believer that your average ghost spirit, when we pass, if we choose not to cross over and we decide to
Right.
just kind of hang out or whatever, I don't know that I would have the ability to attempt to kill somebody if I'm,
Right.
in a ghost form, or I don't know that we think like that. I don't know, but I just think that if a entity has the ability to throw knives and have needles,
And start
cause
fires.
major pain, fires, uh, I I tend to lead more towards the demonic. My belief is that demons have
I do
way
too.
more power than,
Yeah.
say, some, humans,
Just your average ghost.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, I have to think something demonic is at play here.
I agree. It just seems pure evil.
Hmm.
And I mean, sure, there'll be mean-spirited ghosts, right?
Of
But
course.
I feel like if it gets to the point where the human body is being tortured
Mhm.
and almost killed, hurt like that, to me, that seems demonic
I
as well.
Yes,
When it gets to that point, I
right.
no longer think ghost anymore.
I don't
So,
either. And
yeah,
so, and then, of course, I'm like, well, why her? But part of
right.
me is like, why anybody? Why
Why anybody?
do they choose who they choose? I mean, we've done stories, we've heard stories of children having, demonic
Yeah,
possession, attachments,
right.
things like that. Why a kid? Why
Yeah,
you have devout people,
right.
very devout people who've
Yeah.
experienced demonic attack? There is no rhyme or reason to this.
Mm-mm.
With Esther, it's the same thing. There's no rhyme or reason. I'm not sure why that particular event would kick that off, these
No,
events. And maybe it had nothing to do with it at all. This is all a theory as to,
right.
it seemed ironic, like this happened, and then boom, this crazy
Right.
haunting begins to happen, right? Um,
Yeah.
some people believe that Esther was haunted by a murdered woman jealous of the living. That's been a
Mm.
theory, which could easily be one of the, could be Maggie Fisher or Mary Fisher,
Right.
the female names that may have um, spoken to her or spoken to whoever
Right.
and said, who they were. Others say the entity was a spirit of a woman who died violently and attached herself to Esther's trauma after that
Mm.
night on the buggy as well. Could be a little bit of everything. I
Yeah.
I do have some, because I think about this stuff, I do have some theories on people who experience trauma and hauntings that they
Yeah.
receive. I have specific thoughts on our military, especially
Mm.
who
Hmm.
experience war. I have seen, I talk about my ex-boyfriend probably too much on this, but this is like I have a lot of experience with his, and he was a Marine. He did a tour in Iraq, and he saw some things, and he had to do some
Yeah.
things. And I think, we've talked about the experiences there, and that's when this theory started to hit me. And he of course had trauma, didn't want to talk about that trauma. He kind of felt
Right.
like, I'm no, no, it's not. I'm not a big deal. There's so many people who've experienced so much more. I don't think how could you experience a traumatic event or things like war and not have that
Oh,
feeling?
for sure. Yeah.
You're going to be
Something's happening
traumatized.
here.
You're
Yeah.
going to be traumatized by this stuff. And so I honestly thought a lot of these things were happening to him. I felt like he had an attachment, and I thought because of, PTSD, trauma he experienced, I think it opens you wide up
Right.
I think if you've
You're
seen
vulnerable too, you
that's what I
know?
think too. I mean, he stared death in the eye, and so many of our military have. And I think it can open you wide up to these things. That's
Yeah.
a thought. I had actually also seen, and take what you will. I know people have certain thoughts on Ghost Adventures, right? But we all know I'm a fan of the show. I just enjoy it. They had gone into a man's home, and he was experiencing what felt like, at least, it was oppression at the least. And he was experiencing all kinds of things, and it hit me then because he had been in the military. And I just thought,
Right.
I don't know. I just think if you have experienced hard trauma of any type, I just think, just like you said, there's a vulnerability there
Hmm.
that I think it's possible for things that are demonic. It could be a playground
Right.
like
They're gonna
that.
prey on that, you know? So,
And so here with Esther, having something so traumatic, sure, why not? Why can't something like that
right.
keep you open for things of that nature?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
And I do feel like places can be haunted by more than one spirit,
100%.
you know?
Yes.
It can be ghosts, but it can also mix in a demon or two in there, you know? Like I don't think it's just one or the other or
Right.
one spirit. I I just have all these thoughts about, the demonic making maybe it starts off as a couple knocks here and there, and we've talked about this
Yeah.
in other episodes,
Mhm.
but I think, something happens, the demon swoops in, is like, we're gonna F things up
Right.
here,
I think that's totally
um
possible.
yeah, and they're already vulnerable and
Yeah.
open, so I don't know, it's crazy. There were so many witnesses
Right.
to this. And, the guy, Hubble, he spent 2 months
Yeah.
with her,
Right. And he was
Um,
kind of looking for
yeah,
the fate.
right. Yeah. And the doctor spent a whole lot of time with her as well. It's just, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why they mentioned all of those names for possible,
Yeah.
what was haunting her.
Mhm.
Um, to me, I feel like it could be more than one, but I definitely think something happened when she went through that trauma with Bob McNeil.
Yes.
That opened something up with her
Yeah.
somehow, because
I,
everything started after that.
yes,
So,
exactly. Yeah, they were just living
yeah.
their lives, and
Yeah.
right, it just seems
Hmm.
kind of interesting that that would happen after that.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
skeptics still say they felt like Esther suffered from psychological shock, and that the house responded to her hysteria. Um,
Right.
but this is the part that keeps the believers awake at night, is because dozens of people, and just like we talked about, including the doctors, ministers, newspaper reporters, neighbors, everybody around the family
Yep. Yep.
witnessed this stuff. And this is
Right.
right. And this is a very well
Yeah.
documented case. This is stuff that, absolutely people saw this.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, and a lot of this stuff is extremely hard to explain. And
Yeah.
so something happened in Amherst. It wasn't only Esther who saw it. After everything and staying with Esther for a few months, what was Walter Hubble's conclusion? The ghosts are real.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
And
Now,
he took a lot of criticism too, because people were like, "Oh, he's a writer and he's kind of taking her on," because he would take her around with him almost like a tour, because
sure.
he wanted to prove, that
Yes.
this stuff was happening.
Mhm.
And so people were like, "Oh, it's just she's just his little sideshow," and he took
Yeah.
a lot of criticism
Yeah.
over that. But he kept saying, "No, I'm just like, be around her. You will witness it yourself,"
Right.
So, Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's interesting because that things like that will happen even today.
Yeah.
We've seen plenty of situations where authors and people who've spent time with people who have
Mhm.
experienced hauntings, possessions, things like they've been on talk shows together. They've done the
Right.
tours and things like that.
Yeah.
So this is,
Yeah.
yeah, things like this still can continue today.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So yes.
Yeah. One thing I ran across that I thought was kind of interesting. There was also a play that was
Yes.
written about this. Did you see that?
Yes, I
And
sure
it
did.
was cursed, or they say it was cursed.
Like the
Um,
films.
yeah, like
First
all this stuff happened, like there was like sudden illnesses and all this stuff. But one thing that I thought was interesting is, well, Esther herself, it was almost like she had this like static electricity,
Mhm.
that people described some of the things that were happening as almost like she was like this human battery or whatever. And like sometimes the knocks almost sounded like thunder. You know what I mean? When she would say, answer with one knock or
Yeah,
two knocks or whatever, the knocks were so booming it was almost like she was conjuring thunder. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Like
right.
that's the way they described it. But in the play, so the play, there was part where they were reenacting that, like the knocks, and this thunderstorm like came out of nowhere. It was like this completely clear night, and when the actor tried to conjure a knock,
Yes.
the loudest thunder
Can you
ever.
imagine?
It
I
was
can't
like
even
booming
imagine.
through the theater.
I can't even.
And so it was just this whole thing is just fascinating to
It
me.
really is.
Really fascinating.
I think it is. It is definitely one of the most interesting cases out there of a
Yeah,
haunting. You want to know. Like
I
this
know.
is like I want to know. I want to know what was going on.
Yeah,
I feel terrible for Esther. I'm glad that it stopped. I don't understand why it suddenly
no.
stopped, but she eventually went on to just live her life. She got married.
Yeah.
She had children. She lived this
Hmm.
quiet life. She never claimed to be haunted again. She never sought out money or fame, and her story never changed.
Yeah, yeah. She just wanted peace. I mean, she got stabbed in the back. She got poked with needles.
Can't even.
She got put in jail. She got,
Right. But
I mean,
that's the other
like,
thing too. I mean, gosh, can you imagine? Like,
no.
oh, I hate the thought. Just in general of
Yeah,
anyone paying for a crime that they did not commit, as we know
right.
happens, and it kind
Hmm.
of happens fairly often.
Yeah,
But you're just this. She's a teenager,
I know.
teenager, and this stuff is happening all around her, and then she's getting blamed for these things too. And so,
Yeah.
it's
And it
yeah,
sucked because she went through that trauma, and now she's got trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma
right,
after the trauma. You know
right,
what I mean?
exactly,
It's insane. She's been
yeah.
through so much at such a young age.
It was one hit after
And
the other. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm really happy that it did stop. It's
Yes.
weird that it stopped, but I'm glad
Yes.
it did,
Yes.
So
Absolutely. So yeah, that is my Canadian tale.
it was a good one.
Sweet. Yeah, I think it's a great story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to hear people's thoughts on this one for sure. Please, leave us a little comment on this. What are some thoughts on this? Because there's just so many possibilities here.
Yeah.
You know. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's all we've got for you this week. And
It
yeah,
was good.
I've got a peeker behind me.
Yeah, you do. Look at my hand. Hey, got a thumbs up too. I like it.
For
All
those
right.
listening, and it's my son Hayden. Yeah, he's probably getting restless. He's
I
probably like,
bet.
okay, it's time.
And
Show's
then
over.
Roscoe's coming over to say hi. He gave
Everyone's
up on
like,
his bed.
yeah, you're
He gave
done.
up.
You're done.
Yeah.
Time, pay attention to us. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be sure to come back next week. Like I said, our top 23. Don't forget to drop us an email. And for anybody else who may have a story that they want to share, just like Rachel did with us today, please feel free to reach out Unexplained Archives 2025 at gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and on TikTok. And yeah, keep the subscriptions coming and the likes. And also too for our Spotify listeners as well. We would love to get reviews on there too. It's awfully quiet right now on
Yeah.
Spotify. So if you could drop us a review, hopefully positive, we would love that. But we will be back here again next week. Thanks for coming by. Bye.
Bye.